Hello friends, I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're gonna finally be doing a project pan update. If you're new here, I typically upload my updates every 4 to 6 weeks. However, life has just been a little bit busy lately, so this update is a little bit later than typical. But if you enjoy project panning content, be sure to subscribe. And if you enjoy project panning content, hit the thumbs up button. It helps push my video out to others who may enjoy this. But yeah, I'm really excited for this update, you guys. I have a lot of progress because, like I said, it has been, I think we're 7 weeks, pushing 8 weeks. So we have a lot of really exciting progress, a lot of exciting empties, and yeah, let's just dive in. I do keep my MacBook over here with all of my information. So if you see me glancing over that way, that is why. I think what we're going to do today is we're going to just go down my list. It'll be a sprinkle of I finish this, I update this, yada yada. And then I think I'm only going to be rotating in one thing. So we will do that at the end. Like I said in my last update, these are mostly products I think I will be able to finish by the end of the year. Some of them maybe not, but a lot of these I'm gunning to finish before we're done with the 2025 year. So yeah, to start, let's go ahead and chat about my Glossier Boy Brow pencil. It's in the shade Warm Dark Brown. This is the eyebrow pencil. I think that this formula is literally phenomenal. However, the white stuff on the packaging was coming off everywhere. I'm not even gonna touch it today because it just comes off everywhere onto everything. And for a $24 brow pencil, I'm get it together. Your packaging should not be deteriorating. But anyways, this was close to empty like I thought it was, and I was actually able to finish this up in 5 uses. So nothing crazy. It was a great gimme product for the project. I always like to have 1 or 2 in there to keep the momentum rolling, especially if you're having some products that are taking longer. It's fun to have products then that you know you'll be able to finish. So yes, was able to finish this up, and now I can throw it away. Next up is a really exciting empty that we've been working on together for a while. It is the Michael Kors Wonderlust Perfume. I love this one. However, it was one of the oldest in my collection. So I really wanted to make it a goal to finish it this year so that I can work on some of my other fragrances. Since I saw you guys last, I used this 7 times, which makes for a total of 24 uses in the project. When I first rotated this in, it weighed 7.01 ounces, and when I finished it, it weighed 5.76. So I finished over an ounce and a half of product. Really good. Really happy about this. I would definitely repurchase this scent. I loved it, but I have a bajillion others, so I really haven't been buying much fragrance at all this year. But yeah, empty, yay! The next product, probably one of my favorites to update this project with, is the Chanel bronzer. This has been a labor of love, and I'll pop some photos up over here, but this is what it's currently looking like. Since we saw each other last, I used this 31 times, which brings it to a total of 107 uses in the project. The beginning weight was 3.33 ounces. The weight is currently 3.10 ounces. So we are making progress. I feel like the photos from this update from the last update to this update don't look as significant as they have in the past. So seeing the weight change was really helpful because when we weighed it in last time, it was 3.16 ounces. And it's gone down to 3.1. So we have used up some product. This is definitely a slower moving one. There's a lot of product in here. I smell it often because it's almost 3 years old, I think, at this point. So it's one of my oldest. It is my oldest cream, which is why it's in the project, but it still smells fine. It's performing fine. And I have not gotten any reactions from it. So I want to continue to use it. I was really hoping I would finish it up by the end of the year, but I just don't think that it's possible. So hopefully maybe by the middle of next year, but it'll definitely stay in my project pan until I finish it or until it has expired. Next up, we have the Milk Makeup Blush in the shade Work, and this is what it's looking like right here. I did repress it since I saw you last because it was just getting really spread out and hard to get around the edges. So I did repress it all into the middle to make it a little bit easier to use. Since we last met, I have used this 15 times, which brings us to a total of 42 uses in the project. This is one that I like scooped out the product after 19 uses and put it in here, and I've now gotten like more than double the amount of use. So there was quite a bit down in that little part of the mini. But yeah, I feel like we are getting to the home stretch, you guys. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it by the next update, but I am hopeful that I will be able to finish this by the end of the year. It's definitely been a focus. I've really just been using it. I did get the new Huda blush palettes in PR, so I've been trying those, which has kind of put this on the back burner over the last like week. But after I'm done trying those out and reviewing them, I'm going to be right back on this because I am tired of holding on to the little component. I want to throw it away. So yeah, definitely slowly but steady, and I really upped my usage. I think like last time I had only used this product 5 or 6 times, so to have 15 uses in it makes me feel better that I'm really putting forth that effort, and I want to continue to do that. So yeah, can't wait to see you guys next time with this one because it could be empty. Next product is so funny. It is the Hourglass Vanish Plumper in the shade Trace. I was like, I rotated this in because I think it's so close to empty. What indicator I had? There was none. I just had a feeling. And anyway, I buckled down and I used this like I said I would. And luckily, there wasn't that much left in it, just like I thought. So I only used it 4 times since I saw you guys last, which leads to a total of 5 uses in the project, and it is now empty. We had a starting weight of 0.53 ounces and the finishing weight was 0.52. So there was literally not that much product in here. There was only 5 uses to empty. I was hoping that's what it was, but I really had no way to gauge that. So it could have been a lot more, but I'm thankful that it wasn't. I really did enjoy this. Not my favorite lip product, but it was enjoyable. The packaging is really like weighted. And yeah, I'm happy to rotate it out. I've had this for over a year, so it always feels good to rotate out those like older lip products because you finish them. So very exciting empty. Okay, the Dior Star Glow. I didn't make a new mark on the back. This is where we were when I rotated it back in during the last update. I'd had this rotated out because of how light it was, but now that we're getting into like the winter months, I'm going to be losing some of that tan and whatnot, so I rotated it in, and I haven't used it much, but I have used it 2 whole times, so exciting. But I'm holding on to my tan a lot longer than I normally would, so that's why I have not used it that much. But I did use it twice, which makes for a total of 68 uses in the project, and we did have a weight change. When I rotated it out, it was weighing 3.84 ounces. It now weighs 3.82. So those 2 uses counted for something. This is one that will again start to see some nice big jumps in the winter months because I'll be primarily using it as a primer again. I mean, we don't have that much to go. I'm still really hopeful that this will be an empty by the end of the year. Okay, another really exciting empty was the Clinique Even Better foundation in the shade CN18. And thank goodness I was able to finish this up because it was starting to get too dark for me and it would not last until next summer. And I didn't want to keep it until next summer. So since I saw you last, I used it 13 times, which brings us to a total of 28 uses in the project. This weighed 1.29 ounces when I first rotated it in, and upon finishing it, it weighs 0.78. So we did use quite a bit of product in here there at the end. It definitely lasted longer than I thought it would. Like literally the last 10 uses felt eternal, but I was really excited to finish this up. It is a foundation that I really enjoyed, but I have a lot of others that I want to enjoy and use. So I was happy that we were able to empty this product. Next up, we have the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder in the shade Pound Cake. And we made a really, well, oh wow. Am I blind? Maybe it shook out weird. So there's where I put the line, but it appears maybe it should have been a little bit lower. Either way, we have a really nice amount of usage between these two updates here. Since I saw you guys last, I used this a total of 38 times. I use this almost every single time I do my makeup. So that's why the usage is so high on this. If I did my makeup 9.8 times out of 10, I was using this product, which brings the total usage to 134 times. I definitely think I will be able to finish this by the end of the year. I'm not really sure if we'll be done with it by the next update though, because we are getting into the cooler months and my skin gets quite a bit drier. So I don't use powder as, well, one, as heavily, but sometimes even as much. So I definitely think we'll empty it by the end of the year. I'm just not sure if it'll be an empty by next update because I've really slowed down on the powder. But either way, an incredible jump in usage. So that's a win in my book. Okay, the Armani concealer, I kind of just mark where I can see down into the like tube where we're at. So we do have a little bit of a jump from last time. And I've used it 13 times since I saw you guys last, which brings the total usage in the project up to 28 uses. It was weighing 1.14 ounces last time, and now it weighs 1.11. So it has been a weight change, which is really exciting. I really slowed down on using this because I don't really like it on my under eyes, and it was just starting to get pretty frustrating. And so I was like, I just need a break from it. And what I think I'm gonna actually do is use it as like a foundation mix in once it gets, well, which we might be there. I always smell it too because it's like over its thing, but I actually think we're there. Okay. I had rotated it out because I wanted to use it like foundation-y, and I knew that, but the shade was just too deep for me, and I was like tired of just like looking at it sitting on my vanity when I'm not using it. But I think now I could use it. So hopefully with using it more as a foundation, I will be able to empty it sooner rather than later. But concealer does take me a long time to use. So I'm still hoping that I can potentially finish this by the end of the year, especially now that I'm done with the Clinique foundation. This could almost be like my focus foundation-y type product. So I'm really hoping that we'll see a big jump by the next update. Product that I feel like is lasting forever is the Bobbi Brown primer, the vitamin enriched face base. And I can like, when the light's on it just right, I can see that there's like product up in here and down to here. I honestly thought this would be like an easy empty in one update, but it turns out there's a lot more in here than I initially thought that there would be. Since we last met, I've used this 18 times, which brings it to a total of 24 uses in the project. 24 uses, and I don't really, like I said, I'm like down in here. So like closer than I was, but not super close unless there is like a huge air bubble, which I kind of hope there is, because it's nice, but it's not that hydrating. And it's like marketed as an all-in-one primer and moisturizer, But for my like combo leaning drier skin this time of year, this is not, I mean, you put this on top of other hydrating stuff and it almost just feels like it dries things out. So I cannot wait to be done with it. We did have a pretty significant weight change. It was 0.55 ounces and it's now weighing 0.37 ounces. So I did make a big weight change jump again. I think that if I can use it around the same amount of times between now and my next update, that we will potentially have emptied this. Fingers crossed. Next up, I had kind of another easy gimme product that I just wanted to make sure I focused on to finish by the end of the year. And it is this YC Collection eyeliner in the shade Black. This was only in since the last update and I had to use it a total of 21 times to finish it up. And now I have another one that I'm like, I always have a black eyeliner in my like collection and open. But I had two. And this one was almost done. So I was like, I really just want to focus on this one before, so that I'm not keeping two open for like a long time. And it's just, you know, going back and forth. So I focused on this one and I was able to finish it. So woo. Product that I'm going to be rotating out due to expiration is the M Beauty Project Slushy Hyaluronic Acid Serum. So I did not really like this on my face, as you guys know. So I had started using it on my chest. Well, my chest started breaking out. So then I took a break, brought it back, and it broke out again. So I was like, okay, clearly it is this. I just don't like this formula and I didn't want to put it on my face anymore, and I'm glad I didn't because I'd rather my chest break out than my face because my face is sensitive as fuck. So yeah, I did finally, and of course it's when I finally cracked down and I'm really using it that it decides to freaking expire. But I still used it 17 times from when we last met, which brings it to a total of 37 uses in the project, which is quite a bit, I feel like. This is where we were last time. This is where we are ending at. But look at all that use. Now, in total, it was almost more annoying now that it went off because look at that. Only that much left. Which means like another, I don't know, 15 to 20 uses, it would have been gone. So yeah, but all in all, I did use the majority of this product. It's just such a bummer when you get so close to being able to call it empty and then it like expires, so you can't call it empty. It's like, gosh darn it. Don't forget to stay hydrated, guys. Okay, next up we have the Gucci Bloom fragrance. I love this one. It smells so yummy. This is one of my older ones though, which is why I rotated it in. I didn't make a new mark because I look like I'm pretty much right in still where that mark is, which is fair. We just rotated this in the last update and I've only used it 5 times, but we did see a pretty good weight change. So I'm glad I weighed this product. When we initially brought it in, it weighed 5.92 ounces and it now weighs 5.83 ounces. So a pretty good jump in weight. So that's exciting since this makes it look like I didn't even use it at all. So that gives me hope. And as you saw, we rotated out the Michael Kors one. So I feel like there's definitely going to be more room to focus on using this one now that I'm like filtering some of the other older fragrances out of my collection since I've been finishing them. But yeah, really think that we're going to see a bigger jump in usage by the next time I see you guys. Okay, the next product I don't have here with me, so I took a picture. I keep this at work on my desk. It is the Huda Beauty gloss in the shade Bombshell. I love this formula and I love this shade. It's such a good one to keep on my desk to like touch up throughout the day, especially because that formula is so nourishing. As you can see, we do have a pretty big jump. I was able to use this 22 times since I saw you guys last, which I think is like pretty incredible. It's good for when I'm there at work. Sometimes I use it more than once, but I don't know. I use it 1 to 2 times, like application wise, When it comes to lip products, I just count one use like per that day. So if I use it 3 times, I don't write 3 times. I just write 1, which maybe I should count every time I use it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I did use it 22 times and we saw a pretty big jump. I'm still hopeful that we can finish this by the end of the year if we keep trucking along at this kind of a pace. I definitely think we can finish it by the end of the year, and I'm excited for the progress that we're making on it. Similar to the e.l.f. lip oil, these last forever. I have used this 31 times since we rotated it in and I saw you guys last. This product, I can tell you for sure, I use 2 to 4 times every day. And it's still like we had some movement, but it doesn't really look that significant. And I'll be damned if I don't finish it by the end of the year. But I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm just ready for it to be done because it's a mediocre lip oil, which I mean, it's like what, $4, $5, I don't know. But it does last forever. Right now I have it like laying down on its side so that I can take the doe foot and whip it around to get it out and get product on it. So I'm hoping that means that soon we will be done with her. That is what I'm thinking, that hopefully within the next 15 to 20 uses, it'll be done. So everybody cross your fingers with me. Okay, next, something really exciting is my ABH satin lipstick. I'm calling it empty, guys. I could scrape it out, but I'm not going to. I was actually a little bit tempted when I shopped my stash last because I do love this shade. It's in the shade Taupe Beige, and I love this shade. I wear it all the time, and I just don't feel like I have a dupe. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna wear? But then I was like, calm down, you have so many other lippies, like it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But you know what I mean? If you've been panning something for so long and then you don't have it anymore, it's like, what am I gonna use? Like my whole world is rocked. Like that's kind of where we were at with it. But since I saw you guys last, I used it 14 times, which brings us to a total of 34 uses in the project. The weight started out at 0.59 and we ended at 0.55. So really like not that much weight, but like when I would wear this, I would usually reapply it 1 or 2 times. So I still think that I got quite a bit of use out of this. And it was like one of or my oldest lipstick. I think it might have been my oldest lipstick. So really happy to have used this up. It's so satisfying, feels so good. This literally, I might take a picture and have a dedication to it on IG because I don't finish lipsticks. It is so hard for me to finish them and I don't know why. So this is very just like feels like a big accomplishment. We also have the e.l.f. Brow Lift Pencil in the shade Deep Brown. I have about this much left. And since I rotated it in, I have used it 30 times. And I'm taking like a break from e.l.f. from a while, maybe indefinitely. So I'm not going to repurchase this. This has lasted a fairly long time. It is too deep for me, so I don't have to use that much to get the effect that I want. So I think that that's why this is lasting a little bit longer than like some other typical brow products. But I'm thinking based on how it looks, this will definitely be empty by the next time I see you guys. I do have my NYX micro brow pencil that I do use when we're going out and doing something and I want my brows to look really snatched and I want the color to be just right. Then I wear this. So I haven't worn this every time, but I do wear it like most days so that I can get that use out of it. But definitely hopeful that will be an empty next time I see you. And lastly, we did it, guys. We emptied the Replica Coffee Break fragrance. I love this one. However, it is the oldest one in my fragrance collection. I got this in 2021. So it was time for her to be finished. And yeah, love this one. I don't think I would consider repurchasing just because it's not really like a scent profile that I really go for anymore. But I did love it while I had it, and I used the crap out of it. Obviously, there's so much product in here. Since I saw you guys last, I used this 20 times, which brings it to a total of 28 uses in the project. The starting weight was 7.83 ounces, and we are now at 7.36. So we did use up quite a bit of product. I feel like this one definitely needed to go because the lasting power just like wasn't what it used to be. So it was definitely, I mean, it's getting older. It's like coming up on 5 years. So I was definitely happy that we were able to finish it. This was one that I was like, I have to finish it this year. Like I have to. So yeah, really, really exciting empty. Honestly, so many exciting empties. So many exciting empties. Very proud. I know this update was a little late, but because of that, I was able to sneak in just a couple more empties for this update, which is super exciting. Now, I am only going to rotate in one product because I really want to hone in and focus on what I have here, because there are, you know, 1, 2, 3, there are a handful of products that I really want to finish. But I think because it is the time of year where I'm feeling this, I want to rotate in a fragrance that we had in earlier this year. I want to rotate it back in. And that's the Lancome Adore. I absolutely love this one. However, it is one of my older perfumes, so I would love to have this finished up by the time we get into next summer, which is when I don't really like wear fragrances like this. It's a little heavy for summer. And this right now, I used it a total of 5 times so far in the project, and it was weighing 7.56 ounces when we rotated it in. So yeah, I really just want to rotate it in to be mindful to use it and to start tracking that usage. I definitely don't think between this one and whatever fragrance I choose to wear throughout the rest of the year that I will finish it. But it's one that I want to start working on so that this can for sure be an empty in 2026. But yeah, so gonna rotate that in. And yeah, that is all for my update, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry it was a little bit later than usual. Be sure to still give it a thumbs up though if you like project panning content and enjoy these kind of videos. We are coming to the end of the year, so you'll definitely see an update for this at the beginning of December because I want to get that in before my finale. And yeah, I think I'll probably also do like a poll on my community tab. But would you guys want to see a 2026 plan to pan video, or would you rather just see a 2026 project pan intro? Like, I think there will be a lot of overlap, but I know a lot of people really like the plan to pan videos. So if you would like to see that, let me know. If you're cool with just the project pan, let me know, or, you know, whatever. But that's something that I've been thinking about because I've already started my list of products that I really want to focus on next year. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for coming, for hanging out, for watching, for your engagement, all of that. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you guys are having a great day wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and that you're staying safe. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.